When a man pulls away, the first instinct for many women is to react from a place of fear. It's a gut-wrenching feeling, isn't it? One moment, everything feels perfect. His attention is on you, he's engaged, he's showing up, and then suddenly, he becomes distant. His texts slow down. His calls become less frequent. You start to feel that shift, and before you know it, panic sets in. Your mind races. Did I do something wrong? Is he losing interest? Is there someone else? You replay every conversation, every moment, searching for clues, and the more you focus on it, the worse it gets. You feel this deep urge to do something, anything, to bring him back. You think, maybe if I just talk to him, if I just ask what's wrong, if I just show him how much I care, he'll come back. But here's the truth. Fear is the fastest way to push him further away. Fear makes you act needy. It makes you cling. It makes you overanalyze every little detail. And men, whether they realize it or not, are wired to be repelled by fear-driven energy. They don't respond to it with love and devotion. They respond by pulling back even further. Now let me ask you something. Who are you when you're at your absolute best? Think about it. When you're confident, when you're feeling beautiful, when you're happy and full of life, what happens? People gravitate toward you. You attract opportunities, friendships, and yes, romantic attention. That energy is irresistible. So if you want to re-attract a man who is pulled away, the first thing you must do is shift your focus from fear to power. What does that look like in action? Stop reacting and start leading. When he pulls away, your natural reaction might be to reach out, check in, or demand answers. But instead of reacting emotionally, take a deep breath and step into your power. A high-value woman doesn't beg for attention. She doesn't chase. She simply allows space for the right energy to return to her. This means you don't send that long emotional text. You don't ask him what's wrong 100 times. You don't make it your mission to fix something that may not even be broken. Instead, you focus on what you can control, your own energy, your own mindset, your own happiness. Reclaim your emotional balance. Fear makes you unstable. It makes you doubt yourself. It makes you feel like you have no control. But the moment you shift into a state of certainty, the game changes. Instead of thinking, I hope he still wants me, start thinking, of course he wants me. I am an incredible woman with so much to offer. If he can't see that, it's his loss. This isn't about arrogance. It's about reality. The version of you that he was drawn to in the first place wasn't anxious or desperate. She was confident. She was joyful. She had her own life, her own goals, her own passions. That's the woman he was attracted to. And that's the woman you need to embody again. Redirect your energy toward yourself. Here's something powerful. Whatever energy you were about to pour into worrying about him, into stressing over why he pulled away, redirect it into yourself. Instead of spending hours analyzing his behavior, spend that time doing something that fuels your soul. Hit the gym, go out with your friends, start a new project, learn something new, get back in touch with the things that make you feel alive. Because the truth is, nothing is more attractive than a woman who is fully engaged in her own life. Think about it. If a man sees you thriving, if he sees that his distance hasn't shaken you, he will start to wonder, he'll start to feel that pull again. Because deep down, men are drawn to women who don't need them but choose them. Trust that you are enough. The biggest reason women react from fear is because they believe they have to do something extra to keep a man interested. They think maybe if I prove my love more, if I do more, if I give more, he'll stay. But real attraction doesn't work that way. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to chase. You don't need to twist yourself into knots trying to be what you think he wants. You are already enough. When you truly believe that, when you carry yourself with that unshakable confidence, you shift from needing validation to simply allowing the right energy to flow to you. The bottom line, shifting from fear to power, isn't just about getting him back. It's about stepping into the best version of yourself. It's about remembering who you are. It's about reclaiming your confidence, your self-worth, and your joy. Because when you do that, when you radiate that kind of energy, the right man, whether it's him or someone even better, will be drawn to you effortlessly. Attraction isn't just about how you look. It's about how you make a man feel when he's around you. When a man pulls away, most women make the mistake of thinking they need to do more to win him back. They think if they remind him how much they care, if they prove their love, if they ask him what's wrong enough times, he'll realize what he's missing. But that's not how male psychology works. Men don't fall for logic. They don't fall for convincing. They don't stay because of guilt or obligation. Men stay when they feel a deep emotional connection, a feeling that makes them want to be around you, that makes them crave your presence. The problem is when he pulls away, most women start operating from a place of anxiety. They start acting differently, more on edge, more reactive, more fearful. And when that happens, they unknowingly change the emotional dynamic that attracted him in the first place. Instead of being the woman who made him feel alive, inspired, and drawn in, they become the woman who makes him feel pressured, drained, or even guilty. The good news, you can shift this energy. You can reignite that emotional connection, not by pushing, but by pulling him in with your energy, your presence, and your ability to create a space that he wants to return to. 1, stop talking about the problem, start being the solution. When a man pulls away, it's tempting to bring it up over and over. What's wrong? Why are you acting different? Do you still care about me? You think that if you can just get an answer, you'll feel better. But here's the reality. Constantly talking about the problem doesn't make him want to stay. It makes him want to escape. Men don't respond well to emotional pressure. They don't process feelings the same way women do. While women often feel closer through deep conversations about emotions, men tend to feel closer through positive experiences and emotional freedom. So instead of trying to force an answer, focus on shifting the energy. When you're with him, create a space that feels light, fun, and effortless. Instead of being the woman who makes him feel guilty for pulling away, be the woman who makes him feel good again. Because once he associates you with good feelings, laughter, connection, excitement, his emotional connection to you will naturally start to bring back the playfulness. Think back to the early days of your relationship. How did you interact with him? Were you lighthearted? Did you tease him? Did you flirt effortlessly? Chances are, when things were at their best, your energy was fun, confident, and playful. But when a man pulls away, women often lose that playfulness. They become more serious, more emotional, more focused on fixing the situation instead of just enjoying the connection. And that shift in energy is something a man feels deeply. If you want to reignite his emotional attraction, bring back that lighthearted, easygoing energy. Joke with him. Tease him a little. Send a fun text instead of an emotional one. Be the woman who can make him smile when he least expects it. Because here's the secret. A man will always be drawn to the woman who can lighten his world rather than weigh it down. 3, tap into emotional contrast. One of the biggest mistakes women make when trying to reattract a man is staying in one emotional state, usually serious, sad, or frustrated. But attraction thrives on emotional contrast. Think about it. The most powerful relationships aren't just full of deep conversations or romantic moments. They have variety. They have moments of laughter, moments of mystery, moments of deep connection, moments of spontaneity. And that contrast keeps the emotional spark alive. So instead of being predictable, introduce a mix of emotions into your interactions. One moment be teasing and playful, the next be warm and affectionate, then be a little mysterious, pull back slightly, give him space to wonder about you. This keeps him emotionally engaged rather than feeling like he knows exactly what's coming next. 4, make him feel like a winner again. Men are wired to win. They want to feel like they're succeeding, whether it's in their career, their goals, or their relationships. But when a man pulls away, women often, without realizing it, make him feel like he's failing. How? By constantly questioning him, by bringing up what's wrong, by making him feel like he's not showing up enough. And even though these reactions come from a place of caring, they can make a man feel like he's disappointing you, which can actually push him further away. Instead, focus on making him feel good about being around you. Appreciate the little things he does. Show excitement when he makes an effort. Compliment him, not just on his looks, but on who he is as a person. Let him win with you again. When a man feels like he's succeeding in making you happy, he naturally feels closer to you. But when he feels like he's constantly letting you down, he starts to associate the relationship with stress rather than joy. 5, shift your energy from needing to inspiring. There's a huge difference between needing a man to come back and inspiring him to want to come back. Neediness comes from fear. It makes a man feel pressured, like he has to fix something, and pressure makes him withdraw even more. But inspiration comes from confidence. It comes from showing up as your best self. It comes from being the woman who is happy, radiant, and living her life fully, with or without him. A man doesn't fall in love because a woman needs him. He falls in love because he wants to be around her, because she makes his life better, because her energy is magnetic. That's the shift you need to make. Move away from proving your worth to simply embodying it. Let go of the anxious energy that wants reassurance and instead focus on creating moments that feel good for both of you. Because at the end of the day, a man doesn't choose a woman because she convinces him to stay. He chooses her because he feels something undeniable when he's around her. One of the most powerful forces in attraction is space. It's counterintuitive, isn't it? When a man starts pulling away, the natural instinct is to close the gap. Call him, text him, ask him what's wrong, try to fix it. You want to reestablish that connection as quickly as possible because the distance feels uncomfortable, even scary. But here's the truth. Chasing kills attraction. Men don't respond to pressure the same way women do. When a man starts to feel overwhelmed, unsure, or even just in need of space, the absolute worst thing you can do is close in on him. Instead of making him feel closer to you, it makes him feel trapped. And when a man feels trapped, his natural instinct is to run even further. So what's the right move? Pull back, give him space. Let him feel the absence of your presence. Because when you create space, you allow desire to build again. And that's what makes a man want to come back. Not because you forced him, but because he felt the desire to do so. 1, understand the push-pull dynamic of attraction. Attraction works like a rubber band. When there's a little tension, when there's space. Desire builds. But when you keep pulling and pulling without letting go, the rubber band snaps, the tension disappears, and with it, so does the excitement of the chase. If you've ever noticed how things felt amazing at the beginning of a relationship but then shifted once you got comfortable, it's because the push-pull dynamic changed. In the beginning, there was a natural balance of space. You weren't available all the time. You had your own life, your own schedule, your own sense of self, and that space made him crave you. But when a man starts pulling away, many women instinctively push harder, texting more, asking more, trying harder. And suddenly the dynamic is off balance. There's no longer any room for him to miss you. 2, let him feel your absence. If you want to reattract a man, you have to stop thinking in terms of proximity and start thinking in terms of impact. It's not about how often you're around, it's about how he feels when you are. When you're constantly in his space, whether physically or emotionally, he never gets the chance to feel your absence, never gets the chance to wonder what you're doing, to think about you, to miss you. And missing you is key to reigniting desire. Think about something as simple as a favorite song. If you listen to it every single day, all day long, eventually you stop appreciating it. But when you haven't heard it in weeks, and then it plays unexpectedly, that's when it hits you with full force. It's the same with attraction. When you're always there, when you're always available, there's no contrast. And without contrast, there's no longing, no anticipation, no hunger. 3, shift from pursuer to prize. One of the biggest mindset shifts you need to make is this. You are the prize. When a man pulls away, it's easy to feel like you have to chase, like you have to prove your worth. But a high-value woman never chases. Because she knows that any man who pulls away is either going through something personal that he needs to handle alone or testing the waters to see if she'll chase him, which if she does, kills his attraction completely. Men don't chase women who chase them. They chase women who are valuable enough to miss. Instead of trying to pull him back, step into the mindset of the woman who attracts him back effortlessly. When you stop chasing and start living, when you become the woman who is so confident in herself that she doesn't need to prove anything, that's when he starts to feel the pull again. 4, become a little less predictable. One of the things that kills attraction the fastest is predictability. When a man knows exactly what you're going to do, how you're going to react, and that you'll always be available, there's no sense of mystery left. And mystery is one of the key ingredients of desire. If every time he texts, you respond instantly, if every time he pulls away, you chase, if every time he takes his time, you fill in the gap, there's no tension, no anticipation, no longing. So how do you shift this? Start being a little less available, not in a manipulative way, but in a way that's true to your own value. Don't always answer right away. Give it time. If he cancels plans or pulls back, don't react emotionally. Just match his energy and invest in your own life. Do something unexpected. Say no to a plan. Be the one who ends the conversation first. Get busier with your own interests. The moment you stop being predictable is the moment he starts paying attention again. 5, stop filling the silence. Women tend to want to resolve emotional tension quickly. When a man pulls away, the natural urge is to fill the silence, to ask, to talk, to find a way to reconnect. But silence is powerful. Think of it like a great movie. The most intense moments aren't when characters are talking constantly. It's in the pauses, the spaces between the action, the anticipation of what's next. If you always fill the silence, he never has the opportunity to lean back in. He never has the space to start wondering about you, to start missing you, to start feeling that pull again. Let the silence work in your favor. Instead of rushing to reach out, wait. Give him the space to feel your absence. Let him sit in the quiet and realize that he wants to hear from you. 6, live your life fully without him. Nothing is more attractive than a woman who is genuinely fulfilled in her own life. When a man sees that you are thriving with or without him, he starts to feel that magnetic pull again. Start doing the things you love. Go out with friends, take up a new hobby, invest in your goals. When you are living fully, your energy shifts from needing him to inspiring him. And that's when the tables turn. Because a man doesn't want a woman who's waiting around for him. He wants a woman who is so vibrant, so alive, so irresistible that he can't stay away. Men are wired to seek purpose in their work, their personal lives, and most importantly, their relationships. If a man starts to pull away, it's often because, on some level, he no longer feels like he has a clear role or sense of purpose with you. It's easy to think that love alone is enough to keep a man engaged, but for most men, love isn't just about feelings. It's about the role they play in your life. A man needs to feel like he is needed, that he is contributing something valuable, that he is winning in the relationship. But here's where many women unknowingly make a mistake. They become so independent, so capable, so self-sufficient that they unintentionally push their man out of the space where he feels like he has a role. He stops feeling like a protector, a provider, or even an important part of her world. And when that happens, his sense of purpose fades, and with it, so does his attraction. The key isn't to become dependent on him. It's to invite him back into a role that makes him feel needed, appreciated, and purposeful. 1, let him step up again. When a man feels like he has nothing to contribute, he emotionally checks out. And while society has taught women to be strong, independent, and self-reliant, which is amazing, it has also, at times, stripped men of the opportunity to step up in ways that make them feel valuable in a relationship. Think about when your relationship was at its best. He probably did little things for you, offered to help, fixed something, protected you in small ways. And if you reacted with appreciation and excitement, that fueled his desire to do even more. But over time, many women get so comfortable in their own independence that they stop allowing a man to step up. They say, "I got it," when he offers help. They solve problems on their own. They stop leaning into his natural desire to provide. And while these actions come from a place of strength, they can unintentionally make a man feel useless in the relationship. If you want to reignite his desire, start inviting him back into a space where he can step up again. Let him open that jar for you. Ask for his advice on something, even if you already know the answer. Show appreciation when he helps in small ways. It's not about being weak. It's about understanding that men feel their deepest connection when they feel needed in a meaningful way. 2, compliment his strengths. Women thrive on verbal reassurance, but so do men, especially when it comes to their role in the relationship. If he doesn't feel like he's winning with you, he won't feel motivated to stay connected. The key here is to compliment him in a way that speaks to his masculine identity. Men aren't as responsive to compliments on their appearance as women are. Instead, they light up when they are recognized for their abilities, strengths, and efforts. If he's working hard at something, acknowledge it. I love how dedicated you are to your goals. It's really inspiring. If he fixes something or helps you out, show appreciation. You're always so good at figuring things out. I love that about you. If he makes a decision that works out well, reinforce his confidence. I love that I can trust you to handle things. You always know what to do. When a man feels seen for what he brings to the table, he naturally wants to bring even more to the relationship. 3, let him chase again. When a man pulls away, most women instinctively lean in. They try harder, love harder, give more, but in doing so, they accidentally shift the balance of the relationship. Instead of being the woman he's pursuing, they become the one pursuing him. Men are wired to chase. They are wired to win a woman's attention and affection. But when you start doing all the work, checking in, planning, initiating, he no longer needs to chase. And when there's nothing to chase, attraction starts to fade. If you want to bring back his desire, you have to give him space to reclaim his role as the pursuer. This means stop initiating all the contact. Let him be the one to reach out. Stop planning every date. Give him the opportunity to step up. Pull back just enough that he feels your absence so he is motivated to close the gap. It's not about playing games. It's about resetting the balance so that he feels that drive to win you again. 4, connect through shared experiences, not just words. Many women try to reconnect with a man through talking. They want to sit down, discuss what went wrong, express emotions, and come to a solution. But men don't always connect best through conversation. They connect through shared experiences. If he's pulling away instead of trying to force a deep emotional talk, try doing something together that brings back positive emotions. Go on an adventure, do something exciting together that creates a sense of bonding. Engage in playful activities, teasing, joking, challenging each other in a fun way. Go somewhere new, experience something different, shake up the routine. When a man feels good around you, when he associates you with fun, lighthearted and exciting energy, he naturally starts to reconnect without even realizing it. 5, reinforce the idea that you're a team. Men don't just fall in love with a woman, they fall in love with the vision of a life they can build with her. They want to feel like they have a partner, someone who believes in them, who supports them, who makes their life better. If he's pulling away, ask yourself, does he still feel like we're on the same team? Does he feel like you trust him to handle things? Does he feel like you appreciate what he brings to the relationship? Does he feel like you see the future with him in a way that excites him? Reaffirm that partnership in subtle ways. Say things like, I love that we always figure things out together. I trust your judgment. You always know how to handle things. I'm excited for what we're building together. Men thrive in relationships where they feel like they belong, where they feel like they have a clear purpose. When you reinforce that he is an important part of your life, not because you need him, but because you choose him, he will feel that deep emotional connection again.